Hey everyone, it's me Kenji again, and from the looks of my last video, it probably seemed like I was going to have a nervous breakdown before the school year even started, and fortunately I did not, and that's why I'm making this video, because I want to do a month recap from my first month in grad school. So for those of you who have not been following along in my videos, I am a first year PhD student at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. I am really excited and nervous, and I came in that way because I am from Florida. I have never visited Illinois before, and I have no friends or family here. Like, my entire life I have lived in Florida, I've gone to school in Florida, and I've always known someone, so that just freaked me out. And with each passing day that I was here, I just also kept on learning about all the different responsibilities that I had as a PhD student when it came to being like a teaching assistant, when it came to the amount of articles and the amount of pages that I had to read. In just one class, I have like 3 technical classes or 4 technical classes. It's really weird. But in one of my classes, you know, on average, I will be reading 100 pages every day. And some people might say like, oh man, if you like to read, or if it's in the subject that you're interested in, it shouldn't be that much work. But you have to understand that for me, there's a lot of words and terminology that I'm not familiar with. So reading 100 pages for one class every week on material that I'm not familiar with words that I'm not familiar with, is just difficult. My brain has been hurting every day when it comes to all these classes. And on one hand, I'm excited because I like to learn, but on another hand, I'm just like, oh, this really hurts. But overall, I would say my experience has been good, and the people that I have surrounded myself with has made my transition that much easier. So for example, I found my landlord on Craigslist, and what made it easier for me to sign the lease was that there was someone here who was a part of my psychology department who was like, hey, like, I get it, but if you find something, I will go personally check it out, take pictures for you, and talk to the landlord and see if this is a good fit for you. And I was just so happy and so thankful that these people did this for me. I was like, wow. So I ended up signing this lease on a place that I've never visited before, and thankfully it's been awesome. My landlord is extremely nice. She picked me up from the airport when I came. She showed me around the Champaign-Urbana area. She lent me a TV. She lent me a bike because I didn't have those things. And so that just made my transition that much easier. And then the house is fully furnished. And on top of that, there's like food still in the house. There's just a bunch of stuff in the kitchen and laundry detergent. So it's a pretty house, and it just feels homey to me, and not like some apartment where I had to furnish it myself, or I wouldn't know my roommates until the moment I stepped through the door. So I like that I was able to get a house that's pretty close to campus, that's pretty cheap, and the landlord is just super nice. Nevertheless, I knew that I couldn't be best friends with my landlord because she really doesn't live in the Champaign-Urbana area, and she's like 50-something years old. So there were times within this month that I did experience kind of loneliness or just feelings of incompetence, because I'm like, oh, I don't know the area, and I don't know the people, and I'm all alone, and I don't know the material. But to combat that, I just really had to give myself pep talks, and I'm just also thankful that I had friends and family that I constantly talked to and made me feel less alone. And then also, I think a reason why I didn't have a nervous breakdown or just be too much in a rut for so long is that I put myself out there. So I volunteered for this thing called the YMCA Dump and Run, and that was awesome, and that was so much fun. And basically what the YMCA Dump and Run is that the YMCA, they take everybody's stuff that they're trying to dump out at the end of the spring semester, and they sell it for really cheap during the fall semester. So I was really glad I could be a part of that, and I've got so much stuff from them because remember, I came here with practically nothing, and I'm definitely gonna do a YMCA dump and run haul. And then after that, I volunteered at the Sweet Corn Festival. So here in Illinois, corn is a big deal, and I was so happy because I was pleasantly surprised because I don't eat corn like that, but dang it, their sweet corn was the bomb. It was so good. I was smacking my lips on some corn and talking to my friend about corn for a while, to the point where she wanted me to shut up. So that was so funny. As far as classes are concerned, even though it's gonna be rigorous and it hurts my brain a lot, I'm extremely happy that finally these classes that I'm taking apply directly to what I'm doing in the real world, or what it is I want to do with my life. Because in high school and then in undergrad, a lot of it is just spent doing a bunch of general stuff that you'll never want to come back to. But from the classes that I've been taking, there's so much overlap in the terminology, in the lessons, that it just reinforces my knowledge of the field of psychology, and it also teaches me how to be a better researcher. So I'm really excited, but also nervous at the same time, because it's like, crap, this stuff I actually have to know to be a decent researcher in psychology. So I can't just cram it and then dispel it from my brain. Like, I actually have to know it forwards and backwards. So it's kind of like a catch-22. And other than that, I also like that my classes are really small. So now that I'm a PhD student, I think my biggest class is like 30 to 40 people. Yeah, so that's kind of big for a PhD class. And I'm not so much hung up on making best friends yet, because I've only been here for a month now, and I do have a lot of friendly acquaintances. I started to get numbers of people that I would want to study with, or people that I would want to invite to free food events, because I am the queen of free. I always know where the free stuff is. And yeah, that's about it when it comes to my my experience here in Urbana-Champaign. Oh, and then just the general area, I was pleasantly surprised. So when I'm coming from a place like Orlando or Jacksonville, Florida, anywhere else in the world other than like the major cities, you just think like, oh, like there's small rural towns, and Urbana-Champaign is not that. I like how on one side you can just see like a bunch of cornfields, and you're like, oh my gosh, like it feels like I'm in the middle of nowhere. But then there's also some heavily populated areas and urban areas. So there's stuff to do here. I'm just excited to find out what it is I can do and where I can explore. And yeah, so I'm pleasantly surprised by the Illinois area of Urbana-Champaign. So yeah, that's been my overall experience here at UIUC. Make sure to like, subscribe, and yeah, that's about it, guys. Have a great day. Bye.